Yeah, we mentioned these outside smokes and sort of how important they are to allow that safe passage, and on top of that as well, not give away too much information. Now, for Anonymo, they have managed to make their way across. They've taken damage in the kind of get-go, but for the time being, all 5 remain alive. That's the important one. They go for that peek over towards stairs. Not going to spot anyone for the time being. Innocent. Here's that leading charge, that spearhead, and well, he will have to fight Glowing up towards rafters.
Glowing on site, very much on site, is the only point of contact. He does have Deco who could rotate in quickly with some help, but Innocent finds the first kill. Glowing is dead. That's going to be ramp control. Well, just the site control outside. A nice kill coming in for Pro Play. They've already pushed forward, getting the bomb plant in, and it's going to be a 4-on-4 retake. Travis finds himself a kill with the MP9. Nice kill secured. They're going to try and gain some map control towards ramp. Close angles against Deco, but gets rushed down. K gets a kill onto Deco, and that's going to be a 2-on-2 with very little HP remaining onto Pult. Nothing he can realistically get done in Anonymo. With the nice creepy crawl all the way through towards Secret to that B bomb site, will manage to secure the force up in their favor.
Yeah, the T side, they turn it around. Of course, in that first round, picking up a bomb plant, regardless the round doesn't go your way, by just getting the bomb down, that makes your economy in a pretty healthy standing, it has to be said. So Anonymo, they use that to an advantage. While they only come in at 1 AK, supported by a couple of Galeos, they make it work. And it's going to be a first one on the board. Anonymo tying things at 1 round apiece. And on the T side, picking up those sort of rounds is massive, right? For the sort of overall momentum. And on top of that, getting the round differential on your side. All tied 1 apiece now. And it's an even game once again.
Deco with the M4 as the only bought up rifle. Well, actually saved up rifle for the 1-win side. The rest on Deagles. Glowing is a very dangerous Deagler though. And so is Travis. Has had some nice kills up on his belt. And Anonymo know exactly that that's the case. They're not going to rush this forward. Play it safe and secure. You don't want to just peek in willy-nilly against those Deagles. Get your head chopped off. Anonymo, they're just holding it very far backwards, playing a defensive game because, well, these are normally the rounds where you just see some CTs rushing through, trying to get lobby control in the first 30 seconds, and could cost you dearly if they come from all different angles like rats scurrying about.
Yeah. I mean, especially with 1-wins buy being so low, right? I mean, just that M4A1S, in that sense, I mean, if you're Anonymo, just an aggressive take. Winning those Angels could be all that's needed. At the same time, Molotov coming forward, that'll push Travis off that angle, and now he's already started to kind of scurry around, trying to reposition, trying to find some safe haven. In comes the flashbangs, caught once again. With Pole to find the opener. Might be able to double up, but Kyler finds a trade. Travis, one of his own. Nearly a second, but it's all-out brawl fest. Yeah, Innocent. Oh, he's going to rip his head off.
Yeah, Pro Play, not a great position to be in. Gets spammed out. Glowing in a 1v1. A bomb in his control. 25 seconds left. Minio is going to crawl in the IGL. Gets dealt with easily by Glowing. We're trading rounds like it means nothing right now because Anonymo lose it against 1 M4 and 4 Deagles.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, rushing onto that A site worked against them. Of course, 1 win, they just shut it down. Very nice round there. Individually from Travis as well, picking up an important Deagle headshot and doing so. Well, that's sort of turned this round on its head. On top of that, they've also picked themselves up a good amount of weapons. You've got an AK coming across to support those FAMAS AUG, that double MP9 setup. Things are looking very good if you are one in this current situation. The long-term economy starts to look relatively okay.
Well, it's going to be a little bit of a slow move from Anonymo again. Though they do have 2 AKs and a Galil to work with, a Deagle and a CZ for the remaining 2 players. Not much utility, barely anything left. That's going to be one of the AKs dropped. Glowing gets an opening pick, has that ramp control hold, but immediately dealt with afterwards. And outside, Minio just creeps in from the side, but they're getting decimated. towards ramp, and Minio now together with Snacks, the remaining 2 terrorists left in the server. Snacks has to deal with Deco creeping up forward with the AUG, crosses in but doesn't expect the angle, and it's going to be a 1-on-3. Minio did find himself a sweet kill, but Deco finds 3 in return.
Yeah, it's tough if you're Minio in this current situation, right? I mean, well, he's going to be immediately deleted by Pole from behind, and in doing so, that's of course going to be 1 win. Winning a 3rd round on the board on the CT side, regaining a relatively strong amount of control now. 1 win, they got a 2-round lead, long-term economy starts to look healthier with weapons being saved across time after time, and well, it isn't the current situation if you're Anonymo. An eco-buy about to come out for them with Deck. I mean, he did a stellar job of just deleting them over towards ramp. 3 kills found, and of course, 3 rounds on the board now for 1 win. Odds up on your screen. Isn't one who are still the slight favourites, but as he said, 1 win looking good.
Definitely, personally, I think 1 win has what it takes to take the series. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Anonymo roster, but God, Deco's such a good opera, and they've been really good. They've had Glowing as a substitute before, and he has been pretty exceptional. I think at that game he pretty much carried their entire team. Can definitely get it done again though. Pro Play tries to get aggressive, loses his life, but still finds an MP9 kill before he falls, so that's at least some decent cash added in. They're gonna run around in towards Squeaky, where Travis is gonna be first point of contact, and they cross into him. He finds himself 1, 2, but it's all on Innocent with his own MP9 in hand, getting flagged at the same time, dealt with easily. 4-1 for 1 win, and Anonymo will at least be able to afford guns right now. But don't really think Innocent's going to drop an op, so we still don't get to see that T-side AWP.
Yeah, that's where he's known best, isn't he? He does love an AWP, and I know they like Bashy bringing out the AWP on that C side. It definitely has its moment. I think at times it can be a bit of a risky buy, but now, no, not really worth going for the risk. If they were going to do it as well, they have to, pick one up, no head armor, which is always extremely risky, especially against, AGs and M4s. Already they're aggressive, take towards outside, 1 win, so much map control and information gained towards outside. Travis is just going to tuck himself in close. K, he's aware, he's waiting.
This is not going to be that fortuitous if 1 win tries to get aggressive, because they're just holding their angles, though Travis could be such a big key factor, especially with Pro Play playing distraction once they crawl forward. Does Anonymo expect the close angles? They haven't run it before on this map. The outside aggressive play from the 1 win side. So it might be a bit of a surprise, but Pro Play wants to go for the peak and play that mentioned distraction. Travis around the corner. Time is of the essence. Will he get checked? No, he does not. He finds the first, peeks and makes it a second. Pushes towards the A-bomb site. At the same time comes out Kalian. Does manage to find both of them. That's the A side empty, but the back is open. And that's Travis rushing through, finding his 3rd in the round all of a sudden. Well, the terrorists will get the bomb down towards the B bomb site and plant it in, but Deco already pushed lobby from a ramp, and that's going to be all onto Snacks. The clutch master himself, 1v3, needs to get it all done, but are they going to give him those 1v1 engagements? Pro Play, he's just waiting for his teammates to cross towards the site and give information on where Snacks is positioned.
Oh, he might be able to net himself a bit of a frag. Oh, he's trying to play this perfectly. He's found Travis. In 1 versus 2, this now becomes extremely doable. Swinging forward, make that another to a prop player. No way. He's made this work. The attack going through. Deco will find the frag, but it won't take away from the fact. Snacks, he's clutched out the round. He's found it. That's Anonymo putting a second on the board. And Truman, in a 1 versus 3, Snacks wins out. That is stunning start from Snacks individually. And as you mentioned, the clutch master finding it.
Yeah, and a 1v3 gets 2, but keeps them at bay long enough to make sure that the bomb explodes, secures the round in their favor. Of course, Snacks, the clutch master from the Anonymo side, the one that you want to have alive when it's in that final situation of the round, manages to get it done. The odds over at Pinnacle do pretty much keep it close the entire time, and I think that's going to be the case for quite some time, because they're going to make it definitely competitive. I mean, you are on the T side of Nuke, so winning 5-6 rounds is enough to give you a solid advantage.
Okay, well now, I mean, for Anonymo, they've sent it down to that secret position. Once again, it seems to be a bit of a default for them, right? Down towards secret, go towards B, go for that B pass or the post pass there, glowing, pushing forward. Catches the first towards Snacks, looks to make it 2 towards Minio, doesn't quite hit the target, but still remains alive for the time being. Now, damage dealt, and again he finds a second. Deco one of his own, which is out by the back 10 of Minio, reload coming forward. 34 points to help, Poplar drops K, it's all onto one man, and Minio. It was like a deer in headlights there as 2 players run across the screen. Of course, it's once again going to be 1 win. This time a significantly more comfortable B-side hold in their favour, right? They've locked it down. Multiple players over there, trades coming forward, and of course, Anonymo struggling to hit the target. That's going to be a 5th on the board for 1 win, a 3-run advantage once again, and well, then just keeping an arm's distance away.
It's going to be, well, that AWP again in hands of Deco, but it's up against just blocks. When the eagle from Minio, that's about it. The bomb gets dropped inside fence, so that's full control already. Deco trying to take a fight, but right now just needs backup from his teammates. Speaking of which, close range, Snacks is going to get jumped upon, pounced down, and it's all on to Innocent in a 1vx situation. Trying to get himself on the bomb, maybe rush it, defend it. Knife! Oh! Tried to go for the backstab knife, but it somehow did not seem to work. That's a rather big surprise. Normally that's almost a surefire way to get a kill.
For a second I thought that was going to work, but now with a 6th on the board, a 4th round lead. No, they are going to call for a tactical timeout. I think this is probably not a bad time to call it. Their economy's in a good enough state where they can, pick up a pretty comfortable buy, start thinking about this next round ahead. But at the same time, they're actually just struggling, right? I mean, they're really struggling to kind of find their way on towards the site, find their way in that post-bomb position, which is where they're most comfortable. We saw earlier, Snacks in the 1 versus 3. They love a post-bomb position because that's where they feel generally most confident. Well, for the time being, it's been, asking a little bit too much, it seems.
Yeah, especially that round that they managed to get themselves close to his B, they just got completely dealt with. Yep, Snacks is a gorgeous, gorgeous human being.
What a man.
We do have a game to watch. And luckily we'll be getting on with it right now. Again, no op for the T side. I mean, of course, Nuke T side opping is not superb, not everyone's forte, but I really want to see Snacks take that duel against Deco to see which of those two will come out on top. And speaking of Deco, creeping up all the way towards Secret, trying to lock down any outside pushes, because you mentioned that they do like to head down towards that Secret position and hit up that B bomb site.
Yeah, it's their default, it seems, that's right. Make the way towards outside, but Deco, he's read into this. He's sort of waiting in his own regard for an opportunity. It's all about timing on this peak here. He's got both things past me. As we said, Deco's got 11 and 3. He's normally the one that's post up towards that round position, in towards heaven though. AUG could spot out something with a deep push coming forward. Proplet's all about timing his peak. Spots okay, finds a damage, drops the bomb as well. That's huge. Kalian now needs to find a trade, gives away his position, and now Proplet remains alive in the current situation, but the trade comes forward.
Oh, and he finds himself a second. The bomb is dropped outside though, so still needs to be recovered, trying to creep up in towards the A bomb site. But in the meantime, it's going to be Travis pushing Squeak because he knows he's being flanked from behind. Picks up that AK and falls back. Kyler versus Glowing. This is all about timing. And Glowing just spot his leg. Kyler gets himself his 3rd of the round, but there is Glowing waiting outside for his opponent to peek into him, and it's all against Snacks in a 1v2 situation. Clutch situation's not going to work in his favor because Glowing is still left alive. 9 kills for the substitute and a 7-2 scoreline for 1 win there. CT side is looking dominant right now.
He's done a fantastic job, Glowing, coming in, right? But as you mentioned, another one, Deco. I kind of spoke about him earlier, but he individually has been brilliant. He's been aggressive when needed most, but at the same time passive when things are slightly risky. We've got still in favour of Anonymo for the time being. I guess understandable, right? They're on that T-side nuke, so I can see why they're still feeling confident in the Polish roster. But for the time being, this is all going the way of 1 win. And with an awkward buy coming up for Anonymo, just the pistols, this could be an 8th on the board, a 6-round lead, and already guaranteeing themselves a lead heading into the second half. I mean, 1 win, we mentioned coming into this, their form recently has been crazy good, and He seems to be proving it here.
Of course, this is the map choice of Anonymo, so I expect them to have a solid performance, though. Yeah, Glowing has done such a great job holding Ram, falling back at the right time. No, they're going to rush towards Hell, and they managed to overwhelm one of the players. The USB in hand, Deco still finds himself a catch, but there's the AWP in Snax' hand, and an AUG for K. They don't have any armor on the terrorist side, though. But it is a 3-on-3, and it's definitely doable with this big, heavy weaponry that they've got included. K trying to push towards the A bomb site, possibly. Maybe get himself a quick pick. There are still 45 seconds left, so they can always adjust either the A or the B bomb site. Depends on if they find something for free. Pro Play very far away to defend any of these two sites, though. But it's Glowing down below, and up top you've got Travis towards Squeak, just checking out Heaven, spotting if anyone's going to peek right through, and they're going to go for that B bomb site hit. Glowing in an off angle, might not be expected, though Cade drops Travis. Kyler drops Glowing. All of a sudden it's all on to Pro Play in a 1v3 situation. Can he win this? It's a very tough one to go for. He's just going to push through the smoke. After he tosses out his own drop to the side, no time left, wins them both, and he just has to stay alive throughout secure.
No way.
Play with a hero play. 1v3, drops the bomb, drops the second, gets out of dodge, and how do they lose that round? Perfectly done from Pro Play on the 1-win side.
That is insane individual. We spoke about, earlier how Snax in a clutch situation, 1 versus 3. He loves an opportunity or Pro Play of his own. That is stellar from him. I mean, what a performance in that round. Finds the opening frag with the player jump down towards Heaven, then repositions a second on towards the man outside A main, and of course, just like that, a 6-round lead, as I mentioned. It's now 1 win. We've already guaranteed themselves a lead heading into the second half. Okay, we'll go down with Snax, finds the trade as Pro Player out of the round, and the Clutch Master beats the Clutch Master of the other side. Now, in a 4-on-3 situation, still the man advantage in favour, with Deco finding an ult shot.
And Glowing on towards that B-bomb, so needs to be careful for Window right now, because there is someone hiding in that area. That's why he's going to push completely differently. And will be able to drop the bomb as well. They know exactly where he was playing from, and the moment he peeks in further, he's actually gonna find Minio as well. It's all on Innocent in a 1vx clutch situation. Of course, this is where Snax is sublime, but can Innocent get it done himself? Creeps past enemy lines, and through the smoke he goes, but doesn't check his angles, and he's already being pushed in from behind. That's 9-2, and 1 win. They are 7 rounds ahead right now, and Anonymo, they're getting absolutely squashed.
Yeah, they're all being dumpstered here. It's just not going their way at all. They're really struggling, Anonymo, and this is a map in which usually Anonymo are relatively comfortable on, right? They, time and time again, kind of show their dominance and show their prowess, especially on that C side. It's credit where credit's due for 1 win, because they're putting up a real fight for the ages here, and Anonymo, I guess in this situation, they're going to call for a timeout once again, but it's a rough one if you're Anonymo. You're 7 rounds behind, no momentum by any means kind of in your favour. Things aren't looking good, to say the absolute least, but 1 win. Credit where credit's due, they're looking fantastic.
That's really absolutely exceptional performance from the 1-win players. Of course, just Deco is an insane opera, and starting on the CT side definitely does help on a map like Nuke. T-op is rather tough. 14 out of 5. Can't talk enough about this guy, though. Deco, can he spot? Well, he does spot out Minio. That nade doesn't go as deep as you would like, but still a decent amount of tag damage onto Minio. In the meantime, you've got Pro Play as well down secret if they are going to go for the outside cross on the Anonymo side. But we haven't seen that many inventive. We have barely even seen any rush plays from the Anonymo team. No, super quick control plays outside. Some individual jumpers that just rush down towards Mini outside, but no collective where they try to rush it down. Deco long range tries to find something, but it's going to be towards the B bomb site where most of the action seems to transpire for the time being, because Pro Play has to deal with 3 terrorists on the other side.
Now, of course, still a 5 versus 5, but the T side are taking the initial sort of points of damage. They're sort of waiting. Wobbler just jump peeking above this. Needs to be careful. When he gains information, then he might fall off. They have just spotted one as well, and I think now pro player will. We're going to close the door behind him. Reposition that close angle. He's waiting for an opportunity to frag. Falls off towards radio. As the support comes through from glowing, this could be a nasty hold here towards double door.
Oh, and he finds them both as well, Neo. It's just everything is going terribly wrong. Neo dealt with, and it's all on a solo innocent 1v5. Well, he could have managed to win the 1v4, so the 1v5 seems impossible, and exactly that. 10-2 and 1 win. They break double digits this early in the first map.
Already, I mean, 1 win we mentioned coming into this. They were definitely a side to be feared, right? And definitely not one to sleep on. It also sort of showing that, you know, glowing coming into this roster, he's a new pickup, I guess you could say, into this lineup. He's been fantastic, individually brilliant. He's playing that sort of solo ramp position, which is at times quite isolated and quite a tough one to hold. I mean, you've got such a big presence on your shoulders, but he's looking fantastic. Now Deco's going to aggress into towards main. Looking to find something with the AWP. No peek through the doors for the time being, as the T-side are looking to make their way towards outside. Their default, a standard, an outside push, and make a decision off that. Boy, his prop player's waiting. Oh no. Oh, it's just too easy for him.
Deals with them easy and successfully. Snacks, however, finds the trade with the P250, but utility is barely existent. No HP on Snacks, pretty much. Yeah, it's a very tough situation unless Innocent hits an absolute godlike opening pick there. Deco could definitely get overwhelmed with that AWP down towards fence. Long range, Kyler, gotta find those clean headshots to get you an advantage. Crawling up vents. Deco, no fear whatsoever to take that duel. And they made it very interesting, but all of a sudden it's on a solo. Kyler and Deco gets the no-scope on the ladder, because, you know, why not? Everything is working out on the one-win side anyway.
Everything is going the way of 1 win. Of course, you know, this map is generally seen as, you know, being more CT-sided. So it's understandable they're 1 winner in the lead, but not by this much. I mean, this is so one-sided. And Anonymo, everything they're trying, they're immediately being completely and utterly just destroyed, denied, and completely dumpstered. There's going to be an 11th on the board, an 11-2 scoreline as well, Truman. This is looking like it could be a quick map number 1.
Deagle, really, Deco, up on his back, runs across back towards main, and he kills him with the Deagle headshot 1-tap. Sure, okay, why not add salt to the wounds? That's, you know, okay, sure. Flaunt your dominance right now, because that's exactly what we're seeing only right now from 1 win. It's pure and utter annihilation for the Anonymo side, and it's... I'm gonna just cough it up to that's that, you know, 1 hour of sleep difference. 100%. They got their DMs in, Anonymo. They got some extra rest.
We said, right? Is there a potential that, you know, 1 win have maybe a slight advantage, you know, being awake for an extra hour, a little bit more DM time, and it seems to be exactly that. Anonymo yet to have their morning coffee. I mean, they're struggling to the absolute least, and a 10-round deficit in the first half, Truman. 10-round deficit. I mean, this has been one of the most one-sided maps we have seen in such a long time. Heading to round number 15. This is a potential for 1 win to make it a 13-2 scoreline, which by then, surely is game, set, match already.
Oh, yeah, this opening map. It just doesn't ever get any easier. Glowing even pushing from ramp. The flag is coming through, and... well, good luck, Kay. You're in a 1vx situation where everyone in your team pretty much has been put in so far. 1:25 seconds left on the clock. He's got 4 kills in total, so, well, that would actually be a very good round if he manages to win it, but all things considered, very tough to get done, because 1 win, they're just feeling it right now. They're awake. They're even finding their aggressive kills, whereas Anonymo, they've completely stopped holding their angles. They haven't stopped to just keep a passive hold on everything anymore. They just have been rushing all over the place in the last couple of rounds, and OneWin abused that fact because that's the point where, you know, nothing seems to be working for the terrorist side, so they let go of every single defensive strat that they have, and they just try to rest the enemy, which some teams, to be fair, old vert just plow, could get done. But
yeah, for sure.
It's against OneWin, their aim is just on point.
It's been completely one-sided so far. I mean, OneWin, they are just destroying them. And it's not even, I mean, to a degree, of course, you know, OneWin, they're outplaying them, they're outmaneuvering them perfectly. But on top of that, I mean, they're 50-50 duels, they're aim duels. It's all going the way of OneWin. And, well, I mean, if you are the Polish side, things aren't quite going your way. They come forward into his heart, though, and that's a lot of damage. Proper finds the opener, but the duelie's trying to find a double. Will he find one? Only one. I mean, comes to support from Unison, and just like that, it's Paul now left in a 1 versus 3.
And Anonymo finally win another gun round in their favor. It is the pistol secured, so at least something. I mean, I've definitely seen 13-2 scorelines on older, well, like a year ago nuke, where it turned out into a 15-15. It's a very long road ahead, but the plus side is, of course, T-opping isn't as easy as the CT side, so that might be a bit of a factor. But as you said previously, Neo, it's, you know, it's still a deficit that very little teams do manage to come back from. But it starts off nicely with Snacks getting a nice, easy MP9 kill through the smoke.
What a way to start it, right? Pick up that opening shot, and in doing so, a man advantage gained. And when you're OneWin, you've got just a force buy in your favor with Deagles, now 1 scout. Final opening frag, that is monumental. MP9 doubles up from K as he finds Polt. It's a 4 versus 3 situation as, hello, Deco finds K. So now we're in a 3 versus 3, and actually, it's become slightly more doable.
Especially because ramp control is now in the OneWin favor. There's no one to defend that B bomb site currently if they would rush it down. Snacks, Deagle against him, but Pro Play doesn't connect the shots, so Snacks will be able to get away with his life. In the meantime, Deco outside. Here's someone rushing through vents. If he takes down the player on Heaven, that could be everything. Snacks in the meantime. Oh, down to 14 HP, but he gets 3 kills in the round. And Pro Play, one man with a Deagle that has to try and make it work. Definitely does need to try and get that bomb planted at the least, but that might already be a little bit too tough of an order to achieve.
Feels like it's asking maybe just a little bit too much, but I guess, you know, silver linings of your OneWin, it's a really awkward buy for them. So to find, you know, even a couple of frags is, of course, a big positive. If you can get the bomb down, that'd be huge. He's going to get that smoke, trying to get it down. It's huge for economy, getting it down. Oh, he's going to do it. So that's the only positive they needed. We'll go down to a HE at his feet, but he will manage to get that bomb down. So that's the priority, right? When you're coming in with just a deco, that's what you're looking for. And to find that all on its own, that's enough if you're OneWin.
2 kills, bomb plant would mean that on their pie they at least have something very solid, or they could go for a couple of deagles this time around, which they still will have a solid pie when it comes to that point. But nonetheless, the round secured for Anonymo. And they're still looking pretty good. It's going to be a full force up for OneWin, though. 3 Galils, an AK, and, well, the scout in the hands of Deco is pretty much exactly like an AWP. So that shouldn't be too big of a problem, though it is rather surprising that they immediately go for the full force up.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a bomb down, you can allow yourself essentially to pick up a relatively comfortable buy. The FAMAS. Oh no, that's not a good way to start things off.
Well, that scoreline between Deco and Snacks just went from 3-1 to 4-1 in favor of Deco, who's winning those duels between the two sides. Now it's going to be an outside control play by OneWin, but K's on that flank. He's looking for more, but he gets spotted out. Polt's holding the flank of Glowing, and that's a rather surprising hold from the player on top of Mini. So outside, Creeping up, Innocent's going to go for the peak. Spots out pro play, but does he expect the player right around the corner? And that's going to be Deco. The reload comes in. He hears the sound cue, and the push towards the A-bomb site is imminent. It's going to be Kyler that has to deal with the terrorists right now. Does have some backup from Minio, but immediately deleted as well. So low, Kyler, and it seems the force up is looking very likely to take home the round, and that means DK Truman is a terrible analyst because their force up is very successful right now, unless Kyler can go absolutely nutty and lock him down. Does see them crossing through. Travis tagged up, but the Galils win it out against the FAMAS, and that is, again, 10 rounds apart between the two sides.
Yeah, you know, I mentioned, right, when you can pick up a bomb plant, especially when you're coming into that second round force, you haven't won the initial pistol round, so you've only got the Deagles coming out, maybe a Scout, which is what they had, right? It's a full force, but with not the best weaponry, so your priority is getting a bomb plant, because by getting a bomb plant, that alone allows you to pick up a couple of AKs, some Galils, and enough, you know, weaponry and firepower to maybe give yourself a chance. It's exactly what One Win did. They prioritized the bomb going down, so they knew it allowed them to get a plant, get a buy coming into next, and well, they've proved it useful. They've picked up a 14, as you mentioned, and now once again a 10-round advantage. And Anonymo, things are going from bad to worse. One win, they are 2 rounds away from taking map number 1 already.
This time, finally, we do get to see that AWP on Snacks, though. That makes me happy, but it's kind of late in the game where you finally get to see him hopefully perform or miss the shot. Luckily, there is Kate to still find the frag, regardless, hiding behind that one-way smoke. Pro play outside. Kate finds a second kill. One Win players starting to drop a little bit, though. Finally, he does get overwhelmed. Kyler on the A-bomb side finds one, immediately traded out by Glowing. Big props for the sub, and he even deals with Snacks. It's a 2-on-2. Really? Glowing gets that much done. Even checks his flag, does spot out Minio, gets slightly tagged up, but it's going to be Innocent in vents, and trying to retrieve the bomb, which is still towards T-spawn right now, gets picked up. But where is that second CT player? That's the problem. Minio, he pushed in towards lobby, and it's going to be all the way crawling outside. Glowing could head towards that A-bomb site to get the plant in. Pulte has still got a pretty decent lockdown on the site, or so he thinks, because the player event might be a big surprise factor if they go for the plant. Pulte's going to go for the peak, and Minio around the corner does get taken care of. I think Minio had the worst timing there to look away. It's going to be all on Innocent. Another 1vx situation for the Anonymo players to deal with.
Of course, 1 versus 2 now. Bomb planted. Innocent going aggressive, trying to isolate these fights, and he could actually find out Polt. We'll find out Polt. Oh, gets the damage. He doesn't get the frag. Oh, that was ever so close. But, of course, there's going to be 1 win. A 15th on the board. A 11-round advantage in the 1 versus 2 there. It's unfortunate, 3 HP for Glowing. But hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get on the way into map number 2. And, well, Truman, I think we're safe to say that map number 1 was relatively one-sided.
That kind of definitely was. We'll be back here, though, for game number 2. And will Anonymo be at least able to perform dearly here to try and keep their hopes and dreams alive in the Spring Sweet Cup? Crossing towards the site, Minio does find a catch on Bolt. That's, if you got no cross smokes, it's very dangerous to make that jump happen, especially considering the bomb is still not crossing over just yet. 4-on-4 ensues. Travis on the ramp, spots Stacks inside the smoke, but that flash is on point, completely blinded. Travis is taken care of. Long range fights, favors, of course, CT side, but Glowing rushes through mid and he gets another catch, but the problem is the bomb. The bomb is in control of Anonymo.
Yeah, exactly. The bomb's taking control. GT50 still trying to take a couple of pop shots, but for the time being, not really connecting with anything. HE could cause a bit of damage, though, and Deco will be dropped to 55. Glowing down to 73 now, as both teams, all about who can just connect with that awkward headshot. Just over 40 seconds left on the clock, but Innocent, I think he hears a sound cue. He's waiting.
Oh, needs to find that quick headshot tap, but it's getting too dangerous. Through towards mid, double doors. Minio trying to keep them at bay as well. Two separate 1v1s, but Deco wins the fight against Innocent and is going to rush towards that A bomb site. And again, it seems likely that the original pistol winners for the 1-win side on Nuke might be able to get it done. Again, Glowing and Deco, the two players you got to keep your eyes on, will be able to stay alive and both get a kill in 2 kills in the pistol round. That's going to be 1 win with the opening pistol, and well, immediately we get the tech pause.
Yeah, 1 win looking fantastic though. I mean, has to be said, they've been looking really, really good. Not only, of course, map number 1, that was very one-sided, 16-4, but a relatively comfortable start. They pick up a pistol round, and now in doing so, of course, a pistol round, a bomb going down. An economy looking very, very good. They're going to be able to pick up themselves up AKs and Galils to support, alongside full armor and utility. When we take a look towards Anonymo, I mean, that economy, not great. Just going to see, at most, sort of upgraded pistols, but if I'm the CT side, I'd probably go for a more passive buy. A P250 at most. Oh, well, they're not going to do that. They're going to go for the full expenditure. Double scout supported by 3 Deagles. It's a risky buy, and against sort of AKs and Galils, you really have to back your aim with those Deagles.
Snack's not even keeping extra op money. That's something I don't really like to see. I really want the inevitable first op on the gun round, but 2 scouts can definitely turn it around through those mid double doors rushing through. You see it happen way too many times. Just a wall bang headshot through those paper thin walls. Right now, though, 1 win. They're not gonna give Anonymo any opportunities here to try and come back and surprise him. That's why they went for the boost play. That's why they're playing so passively on the T side right now. Don't want to accidentally rush into your opponents and give them a nice AK pickup. Glowing and try and go for the jump up outside towards long. Travis goes for the peek, but it's K. He's trying to stay distracted. Well, have Kyler as a distraction while he hides behind the car and try and baits them in. Gets taken down to 7 HP though, and the wallbang is enough to just finish him off. That's a very sad end to K's round. Oh, but look at that push coming forward. Innocent though with the Deagle does find himself a nice double kill with the D, and all of a sudden it becomes a lot more doable here for the CT side.
Yeah, this becomes awkward for the CT side. I mean, not awkward. I mean, awkward for the T side, I said. They lost. There's 2 initial 1D extenders, and they're brilliant, but can they carry it on? They haven't managed to speak themselves of any weapons for the time being. HE comes forward onto a sight, does a bit of damage onto the propeller, but for the time being, Travis, he's tucked himself in that close angle. We're also going to deny any sort of weaponry being dropped over towards the CT side for the time being. They're spamming through the smoke to no avail. When Travis and Propeller are waiting, you see the fight, and now it's one big forward from Innocent, finds some damage on towards the second, but it's Snacks left in a 1 versus 2, and with the bomb so far ticked, he is just going to set up for those exit frags. It's going to be 1 win. Putting a second round on the board, but Anonymo, they do make it expensive, so a silver lining there.
It's a pretty costly round in that regard. Snacks also keeps the scout alive, so he has something to work with in this round. They made Innocent made some extra nice cash with those Deagle kills. So all things considered, not that bad of a round for the Anonymo side. Unfortunately, you can't save an AK, but with the scout might be able to deal some more damage. 3 Deagles as well for the CT side. And Snacks just need to find that headshot with the scout to make some extra little bit of cash so that he can afford an AWP. Come on, pro play, feed me that kill. Is exactly his thought right now, but it is going to be the opening frag for Deco rushing forward out towards A-Long together with Travis. That's full control of the A-Long position, and just like that, Anonymo's very slim chances to win the round have easily been dealt with. Glowing 5 and 1 as well, looking pretty good for the 1-win side. But now they'll get tested because now the first gun round comes in. Snacks is going to pick up that AWP double op setup as well for the CT side, but both on that glass cannon.
Do you know what? I'm a fan of the glass cannon. In certain situations, Glenn, it's a lovely double spray down to sort of give him that round. It's got the goals on his side a little bit. The pinnacle odds up on your screen, they're heavily favouring 1 win, and we can see why, right? I mean, they've been looking brilliant so far, but of course, Orbs coming out, Snacks and Kyler looking to use the high impact weaponry of the double up setup to work in their favour. He comes to utility to force Minio back off this angle in towards a deep short position. And now he's going to hold in Jiggle Peak.
Well, will they check the angle? He's actually just going to drop off instead of hold it down. Snacks with the op. Creeping up to Goose right now for the long range angle, hoping someone's going to feed him a kill. But it is kind of risky. You are glass cannon, and there's still a bit of utility left on the 1-win side. Luckily enough, 1-win don't have a full set of nades left. So they pretty much have one solid execute, and that's about it. Kyle's jumping up over the smoke, trying to see if he sees any of the T's peeking through on the other side. It is, of course, high risk, high reward going for that jump, because if all of a sudden there are 2 T's in that area, you get completely decimated.
Yeah, exactly that. And Minio's holding from ramp. He's waiting for an opportunity. Snacks playing a sort of a passive angle over towards a long position, waiting for an opportunity. In comes the utility, and now he'll support. The flashbang comes forward, and the Molotov to keep them at bay, and the T's like they've been forced back. Now things become awkward for 1-win. I mean, they're kind of trapped between smokes here, just waiting for a lifeline.
Snacks holding the smoke cross as well, finds himself a quick first. K out towards A-long, that means there's no flank coming through, and the remaining T's are just gonna bail out to try and keep their guns alive. It's Deco and Pro play the last 2 remaining T's and nothing much more. 1-win get decimated. The utility from Anonymo, perfectly on point. The molly to force them back, the flash to actually get them inside the molly, or, well, behind the molly from Snacks. And at that point, they're stuck between smokes and mollies, and they have nowhere they can run without just straight up rushing out cold turkey and getting decimated. And a very solid use of utility from the Anonymo side to just straight up almost win the round just based on their util game.
Once again, Anonymo doing what we know they can do best, right? Utility game was excellent, gave them an opportunity and a window to find a couple of frags there, and exactly what Snacks does, right? We kind of spoke about the glass cannon with the orbs and no armor. Well, it's worked in their favor. Credit where credit is due, and Anonymo, the Polish side, put a first on the board and now looking to further extend this. Double up still in play, supported by an AK and 2 M4s, but their short is slightly compromised. Minio just peeking with a Molotov, waiting, and now he might drop it momentarily.
It's going to be Snacks with that AWP, of course, towards ramp, holding anyone pushing towards the A site, but there's plenty of time on the clock. 1-win, they're just holding that default position, waiting for Anonymo aggression, which honestly they don't do too much on the CT side. Not as much as some other Polish teams out there. They just like holding reasonably far passive angles, which, you know, I prefer teams that are a little bit flexible in that regard, especially if you go for like a tunnels push, could give you so much intel. It doesn't always mean that you need to get a 4-frag kill, but just having the information for the rest of your team to know what might be coming your direction. For instance, right now it is going to be the group up towards a short, and 1A log K is going to get aggressive, but Pro play, he waits it out and wins out that fight. That molly from the CTs again, perfect timing, keeps the terrorist delayed for just a little bit longer, makes it problematic. Minio even crawling past the smoke, and this could be everything. He finds Travis, sprays further, only finds himself one with a lot of damage on a second, but Snacks on that AWP long range needs to take these fights. Spots glowing, crossing in, gets the kill, but he's out in a very uncomfortable position against Deco. It's going to be the bomb planted. Is it on time? Yes, just barely. Oh my god, that's threading the needle on the 1-win side. And a 3-on-3 retake, 2 through CT, 1 from A long. That's going to be the case. Innocent creeping in and crawling further forward, but Deco with the first drops down. Snacks, he picked up the AWP. Innocent gets dealt with by Pro play, and it's going to be all on to Kyler. 1v2 off in hand, tries to go for the jumping no scope. No Kukli game for you. It is going to be 1-win securing the round, but Anonymo, they had every opportunity there to secure it in their favor.
Well done once again for 1-win. They sort of regain a bit more of a comfortable showing. Their short default works in their favor. Deco spotting on Snacks there as well. That was a pinnacle frag, I'd say. You know, with Snacks going out of the equation, and they all just started to fall one by one. And of course, the Kukli not quite working, meaning that it's going to be 1-win. Winning that 4th on the board once again, taking a 3-round advantage now. if you're that CT side for Anonymo buying into next, very unlikely they're going to get an orb coming into this, right? Unless they go for that glass cannon once again, which in all fairness has worked. You could see maybe that happen, but actually they're going to go for the full eco. So they're going to go for just the deagles, small amounts of utility to allow them into that next round to buy comfortably, have the, orb, armor, utility into support, and, well, I'm actually a fan of this buy.
Yeah, a couple of deagles. Next round, 2,900 added in. You've got the AWP that you can go for on Snacks, and possibly Kyler as well if you want to. So all things considered, it's a solid buy into the next round regardless. And with a couple of deagles, they can get a lot done. They have a pretty far top mid controlled by Minio, whereas the rest of the team is grouping up to defend that A bomb site. And while the terrorists, they will have to cross through the smokes that they're probably going to toss, or is this going to be a dry peek, which would be even way deadlier for the T side because there are a lot of deagles on the other side. Kyler gets taken care of first. And surprisingly enough, they decimate the CT side. It's LK right behind the smoke, though. And they have some inkling that might be the case. Definitely thought Anonymo had a better chance in the round, but they just got completely deleted. Not a single kill secured for the CT side. And please, I beg you, don't make this a repeat of Nuke.
A flawless round there for the T side. I mean, they're really sort of dictating their playstyle, the entire, not only momentum, but this round and this game in general so far. I mean, it's only one round picked up by Anonymo, but as we mentioned, right, they're now going for that full expenditure, and the double orbs had to once again coming out. Now this time they've got the armor to support. Can this be enough to? Actually, what they're doing, even actually the glass cannon for Snacks and Kyler. This could become slightly awkward, All it takes is one AK shot to really take them down low.
How low can you go? Tag on to Deco and Travis. Sorry, on Glowing and Travis towards mid. No damage has been traded through, but Kyler and Snacks, glass cannon, AWPs again. Rather surprising that both those oppers did not tag each other up so far. Pope's actually going to go for the aggressive peek, and he deals with Snacks, takes him down quickly. Minio, however, sees them almost lining up, pushing towards that A-bomb site. Can he hold down the ramp position? He does find Deco, creeps and crawls, kills off Travis, completely blinded, dancing past the molly, but forces him in an absolutely atrocious position, kept up all the way in the back, and it's going to be the push towards the A-bomb site to get the plant in. Proplane's going to go for the full stick inside the smoke. Takes some nade damage coming through, but it is a 3-on-3 retake, and Glowing finds a first long-range stabs, pulled very low in HP, but very low does not mean dead. So far, Glowing should have known that there was a player out towards A-long, though, so a little bit risky jumping with no HP across the angle. Okay, pushing in, spots out Pro Play, but still the kill picked up by Pro Play. Regardless, the op flick from Kyler not going to connect. Oh no, a second chance. USP in hand, does find the kill finally, but it's a one-on-one, no time left, and that's the round secured for one win. That's 6-1, and Anonymo, the Polish team, is absolutely not ready to play right now because one win are on a tear. They're, of course, a very capable lineup, but some of the Anonymo players, it just doesn't feel like they're completely awake.
I have to agree with you. It just seems like one win are significantly the better side, right? They're well and truly in control of this. I mean, it's the funny thing about it as well is that if you look, back to the Spring Sweet Spring, the regionals that were done, a couple of weeks ago now, Anonymo actually ended up taking down one win in that situation. That was 2-1 in favor of the Polish side. Since then, it seems to be nothing but W's if you are the one-win side. They're looking really good in terms of their form, and of course it's showing here. Anonymo, once again, just a save coming forward. That AWP saved across, dropped over towards Snack, so slightly more positive, but only supported by Deagles. This is well and truly looking in favour of one win to put 7th on the board once again.
Well, they went for a smokeless peak last time, so they might do it again this time around. Snacks with the AWP has a good angle for it though, and they are going to give him that possibility. Finds the first. Travis crosses in. Does stay alive for the time being. It's going to get aggressive, but Snacks with that AWP finds himself too, jumping across up top to peek over the wall. See if there's anyone peeking through K towards short, though. Pro play on the other side. This is a timing game. The peek comes in. Doesn't expect K that close. That's going to be the AK recovered. And is this actually going to be the round? 2 kills for Snacks, 1 for K. Snacks holding all the way in the back. Minio with the deagle on site for anyone that crosses through. There's no utility left for the 1-win side. So will they deny the Brazil? Deco spots out Minio. Or actually, Minio spots out Deco. And 35 seconds left on the clock. This is dangerous for the terrorists. They're even going to go for the peak with the AWP boosted up top. See if he can spot someone in the back, but on the side is the deagle of Minio keeping them at bay, and right now it's just safe territory for the terrorist side. Exactly that. Finally, Anonymo get themselves another round. It starts off with another attempt without any cross smokes, which, this is still Dust 2. The A bomb site is very dangerous to cross into if the enemy actually has guns.
It's risky, man. Really, they're trying to go for these try peaks to get informational plays and, maybe even get themselves an opening frag without sort of giving up any sort of allure as to where they're going. But at the same time, going for try peaks without the utility, it's so risky, and you're always going to pay the price. Snacks, nice on the shot there. Coming on towards Travis, always able to double up as well. It's a questionable sort of peak there, I guess, if you are 1-win and Anonymo. They punished them for it. A second on the board for them. They brought the deficit back to only 4 rounds now, and, well, this could be maybe the beginning of something.
Well, just like last time, on the gun round, they win a round, but can they at least string some in a row? Because that's where their problems really come through. Though, to be fair on Nuke, it just was in general, they didn't win any rounds, so even a loose round wasn't on the cards. It was just mainly the first couple of rounds in the half that they managed to secure, and then all of a sudden it went full potato mode. Right now, the mid-cross comes in, and something that they haven't actually done. 1-win haven't hit the B-bomb site whatsoever this entire game just yet, and Deco with an opener onto the upper from the CT side. That's Kyler down. That's a man advantage. And just like that, Anonymo, they lose the opening pick fight with Travis crawling through mid. Long range, does get taken down by Innocent, but very little HP left on Innocent in a problematic fight, and the backup is just not there. Oh,
there,
Deco.
Of course, now peeking. Oh, that was close. He's obviously going to be aware of that lower tons position. Goes to the jump beacon. He may have actually spotted Minio, and now Glowing might be pushing for that informational play. But K finds Deco. Minio finds Glowing. There's potential here for Anonymo.
Yeah, all of a sudden, 3 CTs against 2 Ts. Of course, the B-bomb site's still not easy to take, Theo, but it's definitely still doable. They get aggressive, and it's going to be all on to Minio to try and make that retake happen. They switch sides between the CT and the Ts, going for the full defuse, because Rose don't think, no, he's just going to tap it, take the fight against Polt, but of course loses it because, well, that's just the way that this series has been going, all things considered. 7-2, and again, no rounds strung together by Anonymo.
Yeah, statistically speaking as well, that B site is the hardest site to retake in competitive CSGO for the time being, especially in terms of the tier 2 and tier 1 sort of teams. And proved there once again, Polt just shutting it down from the outside window position, which is at times quite a risky place to hold, right? Because you can sort of lose control of that site while he plays it perfectly. And again, that's the T side. They are just flying away with this one. A 7-2 lead in terms of rounds, a 5-round deficit, and Anonymo, it's playing out similarly the way in which Nuke played out, right? I mean, they're struggling to say the absolute least. Really finding it hard to not only cement a sort of foothold into this series, even to pick up as much as a round seems like too much of an ask.
Well, they at least have another buy in their favor. Snacks with the AWP again, though gets flashed off, falls back immediately. Long range. Luckily, there is Kate to bail out Snacks before it goes incredibly wrong. FAMAS, not a favorable fight against an AK on those headshot angles, though both tag each other slightly up. No kills in trade, but the man advantage is in favor of the CT side, and They are even grouping up to hit that A-long position with a nice flash. Deco might be flashed off, but they need to be on point. But actually, he's going to get smoked off. That means the Molly's going to force Travis back to the side. Peeks back in, but that's the overwhelming advantage. And Anonymo, this is something that they just haven't done whatsoever on both maps. They have not thrown out CT aggression whatsoever. They've had one player, I think, push top mid and got dealt with, but that was on Deagles. So finally, they play together and they find map control back. And that's what you love to see for the CT side, that they're working together as a team.
Precisely that. With a man advantage, a two-man advantage now if you're CT side. It's all about holding, but Deco takes matters into his own hands. He finds Minio. 4/3 on the cards now. With Paul taking a little bit of damage, this does become a slightly doable if they can clear this angle where Snack's holding from Goose, and we know how much of an unbreakable force Snacks can be.
Can he lock it down though? Up against Deco, misses the shot, repositions himself. He needs to be careful for the peak, and there's Deco winning that fight. Well, we saw the statistic previously. He's been on top of his game. K does drop the bomb. Will be planted a little bit later, but it's a 3-on-2 retake. We saw it on the B bomb side go horribly, horribly wrong for Anonymo. See, on the A side, it's a lot easier. You would expect, but we'll have to wait and see if it's going to be the case right now. K out from A-long. That's going to be the key factor. Kyla drops Bolt. They know exactly what Deco is as well. They spot him through. The op shot does not connect, and K gets himself his third in the round. That's Anonymo securing finally another round in their favor. And considering this is still Dust 2, which is a fairly T-sided affair normally, I still do have hope for Anonymo if they can at least make it 5-6 rounds.
I'd agree. I think, if they can make it 5 or 6, they definitely have potential heading into that second half. And that was a nice retake. I mean, the teamwork and the synergy was, of course, there. Finally, they're starting to step it up a little bit. But one win, I mean, they've been looking ridiculously good so far. And they're one round away from guaranteeing themselves a lead heading into that second half, the same way they did on Nuke. And a missed smoke on the cross. This could become awkward, but the orb doesn't take the shot. And in doing so, T-side, just the kind of awkward crystal light for them, glowing, taking a peek. Okay, damage dealt. Nade coming forward, but he will cross back just about staying alive.
Well, luckily there's a molly to keep the remaining T's at bay. They've got one flash. But that nade, though, that's the money shot. So much damage. Another nade coming through. Boom goes the dynamite. Deco taken care of. But Glowing did find Innocent in the meantime through mid. That's going to be, well, an M4 to be recovered. The problem is it's kind of in a position that you can't realistically pick it up safely because Snacks has his AWP trained at that angle. Kyla long range. Gets rid of Pult, but still danger. I mean, you are up against Deagles. One straight bullet could be enough to take you down. Needs to be careful against that fight against Travis. But he finds 3, and it's all on a solo pro play through towards mid. Creeping in. Okay, 2 shots, 2 kills. Neo, that's nutty.
We got close. Yeah, God. Oh, very close. I think a little bit too close for comfort, we'd say. But, I mean, either way, this replay once again. I mean, they've been doing a good job. The CT side was they pick up that double upset of Kyla as a secondary AWP. Have been doing a fantastic job in his own right, and of course, Snacks is Snacks, right? But pro play this became very close. I mean, that was a ridiculous double there, but fortunately, very, very fortunately, Snacks was there to cover up. It was short though. Minio finds the opening, glowing on the trade, but K finds a trade of his own. Man of Ours is gained by Anonymo, and already a fantastic start for the Polish side. Well on the way to putting 5 on the board and really making this an even half.
Again, Neo, they went aggressive. They went together, threw to a short, one mid, close angles, so he could back them up if things go wrong to get the refrag. And that is something that didn't happen on Nuke whatsoever. And honestly, the first couple of rounds on Dust 2, they didn't have it either. It's just, it looks like they finally started to work as a team, and it pays off because Snacks, he's starting to hit some shots as well. All of a sudden, Anonymo, the morning jitters are gone. The energy or coffee is starting to wake them up, and they're finally ready to play some competitive CSGO. This is playoffs. They need to be on their A game. And finally, we get to see some of that Anonymo action that we were waiting to see.
Maybe they've finally woken up in the server because they do seem to be chaining some nice amount of kills coming forward. Snacks going for the aggressive peek in towards Spawn position. Won't quite spot anything out for the time being, but does spot glowing top mid. Innocent falls back. Snacks nearly punishes, but takes a tag in the making, down to 94.
Always dangerous to take the duel against Deagles with an AWP, but he does find himself glowing, so at least the man advantage picked up for the CT side. They already got themselves 5 rounds. 6 would be wonderful. 7 would be absolutely insane, because this is still a fairly T-sided map, and you want to get as much of an advantage in your favor as possible to try and take us towards Mirage. Nice tag coming through, but Innocent is backing up his teammate. Snacks and Innocent locking down the mid double doors position. And Bolt, Deagle in hand, can't find anything. Clean sweep for the Anonymo side. That's 6 rounds. That's something I definitely would not have expected. What was it? 6-1 in favor of 1 win at one point?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, at one point, 1 win were well and truly ahead and, you know, in complete control of this map. But finally, Anonymo starting to step it up, starting to really bring the pain. We mentioned as well, you know, if Anonymo could pick up 5-6 rounds on the CT side, heading into their T side, things may look a little bit more positive for them. Well, they've done exactly that. They are, of course, on that 6-round mark, 1 away from tying things up 7-7. The way they've been playing, I can see them doing it.
Trying to go for a little bit of a boost play, though down to 10 HP, needs to fall back before that ends terribly. So the opening fight has been favorable for 1 win with the damage dealt. Of course, it's on an opera, so he just needs to connect 1 bullet before you connect 1. Though they are playing a bit of a default on the 1 win side. Full A-long control game by the Anonymo side. And they've even got 1 station in pit. That's been K, who has had a terrible performance on Nuke, but all of a sudden on Dust2 starting to wake up as well. Definitely one of the star players on the rifle that you're looking for to have a solid performance right now. Just the T's baiting out a decent amount of utility. K gets dealt with by pro play. The op from Snacks needs to be careful because there's 2 T's peeking into him. Gets 1. Pro play doesn't go for the full committal peek, and that saves Snacks' life for the time being, but there's the push towards the A site, and it's Minio finding 2, making it doable for his teammates, especially with Innocent chiming in. It's all on to Deco. 1v2, can he take that fight? Innocent does not expect Deco that far on site, and a 1-on-1 op versus AK. Deco does spot out Kyler towards short. His teammates definitely gave him the info that he is towards short. It's going to go for that peak, and it's a dangerous fight to take for Kyler to go for, because Deco is on form as well. Nate flies in down to 31 HP. But does he go for the op duel or does he go for the pistol? It is going to be the op versus AK, and Deco, he just has to play the waiting game. Mano a mano, this is to pretty much decide who's going to win the half in their favor. Crossing further forward, the peak comes in, and it's Deco winning the engagement. 3 kills for the T-Opper, and he even picks up that big green stick, or in this case, orange stick, in his favor. That's 1 win securing the half win. But Anonymo, 6 rounds, make it 7, and you are A-okay.
Yeah, no, exactly. And do you know what? Even at 8-6, I think that's still enough, let's say, for Anonymo, right? Because of course they're on that CD side, which at times can be significantly harder. But credit where credit is due. 1 win. They from a real rough patch, they've turned it around. They've put 8 on the board, guaranteed themselves at least a lead heading into that second half. So there's real kind of silver linings coming out. A missed smoke as well. Oh no, that's a cross smoke there. Coming forwards, being through though, glowing. Initial bit of damage on towards Minio, now dropped to 46 points of health. He needs to be extremely careful. It's Snacks to find the opener. Traded quickly by Prop Player, but in a 4v4 situation, both teams have taken a bit of damage.
Both oppers have been dealt with. Luckily enough, of course, the CT side have Kyler as a secondary opper. So, K towards short, waiting for a pop flash from his teammate to rush through towards short. Might be able to catch him from behind, but Travis, he knows what's up. He heard the flash, and he expects the push to come through. Minio playing an off angle, finds himself 2 kills, making it a 2-on-2. They still haven't gotten control of the site just yet, but there's 1 A long and 1 from site. So Polt's going to go for the plant. And Pro Play is going to try and back him up, grouping up both CTs heading up toward, well, actually one short, one A long. Instead, they're going to go for two separate 1v1 engagements. Who's going to be able to win out the fight? Kylo with the AWP against Pro Play, spots him crossing through, and it's going to be all on pulls. 1v2, can he hold on to the side? Has a smoke to give him that covered vision. Does spot a player towards short, creeping in. The headshot comes through, both tagged up heavily, but of course, he's going to peek up against Kylo because, well, wounded. You want to take the fight against the Opper, not the rifler. And that's going to be where the danger comes through, but it's the op that actually reigns supreme. Kylo gets 2 kills in the round. The defuse comes in. Innocent does have a kit, luckily enough, and that's going to be the round in favor of Anonymo. 7 rounds on the CT side of Dust2 after that 6-1 deficit, Neil. This is looking great for Anonymo. If they win that pistol, they are in control.
8-7.5. I mean, I think that's actually quite a fair sort of scoreline. In the way these two teams have been played, it's been such a round for round, a fair, real sort of moments of, let's say, confidence coming forward. Of course, momentum's been huge as well. We of course saw, at one point, it was a one side of the fair, to say the least, at one point. But resurgences came forward at 8-7 as well. We could maybe see something coming out from Ronaldo heading onto this T side, right? They've picked up what we asked them. You said 5 or 6 rounds on your CT side. When you head into your T side, then that's when you can start, showing that flair that we know they can do. And well, I think so far it's already a much better performance than Nuke. So, there's a positive there. And 8-7, I think they can really, start something here, especially when this pistol round gets underway. If Anonymo tie things up 8-8 straight away, then we have a game in our hands.
Of course, if you do like placing a bet, do not forget to head over towards tv.gg/Oz and use VIP code SPRING221 to get a deposit bonus upon sign up. Because this game, I mean, you can probably place a nice couple of bets. As you can see, Deco just looking at his cam for a second there, stretching, quickly getting those muscles nice and limber, because he's going to need them on the T side opping. CT side opping. It's not going to be easy once Snacks picks up in his own AWP. If he's, I mean, Dust2 T side, you're definitely going to pick up the op this time around, though. It's not like it's Nuke. It's a lot more free form for a T side op.
Yeah, I like that. I like a free form of, we have the sort of a simple sort of pioneered that free form of, just playing wherever and wherever. But now, of course, heading into round number 16, the pistol round about to get on the way. And I'm going to trail by 1 round, but a good pistol round here could tie things up 8-8, and then this game becomes even spicier.
A long range. There's a kit, luckily enough, on Pro Play, so that makes me happy. For the rest, they're just going to be holding a passive angle and go for the retake on the 1-win side. They do have cross smokes on Anonymo, 2 smokes, 1 flash, so they can get themselves on towards that A side. They even have a P250 on both Kyler and Snacks for those long range tap fights against Deco. But he's been on form this entire series, so it's not an easy fight to take. Both oppers trying to find that easy headshot potential on their opponents, but it's all terrorists out towards A long, and 1-win blowing is in lower tunnel, so he has information that no one is going to be there. He's even going to go for the peak, and once he has that info, he can rotate through with his entire team to relay the information that they're going to be going for that A-bomb side hit. They're so close. If Deco peaks wide, this might be disastrous for him. There is Travis on the cross as well towards elevator. Smokes come in, the flash comes through. He finds one, though.
That's brilliant. I mean, they used the flash to find that opening frag. Now they've got the man advantage. Just keep it.
Gonna go for a little bit of a boost play. Minio doesn't expect it. No one's holding the position either, and that's another kill. Oh my god, they're decimating the Anonymo side. Easy pickings. It's all 50-50 in hand. At least finds 1 kill, but honestly, that's way too little right now, because 1-win, they secure the pistol in their favor, Neo.
Yeah, really nice done, of course, with the opening kill. They used that and they utilised it essentially into, giving them a significantly favourable odds. And then, of course, crossing on towards that site, not clearing that pretty standard boost where someone can peek in towards that Kukli angle. Well, they pay the price, bomb dropped, and from there on then, they just start to fall 1 by 1 like dominoes. Of course, 1-win, putting a 9th on the board, taking that pistol on that CT side, and not even managing to get the bomb down means that, well, that economy looking worse for wear here. Just the Glocks coming out into round number 17, and I think it's asking a little bit too much.
It's just a full Glock train for Anonymo, just mainly using this as a bit of an eco. And a timeout, discuss what their plan of attack is going to be in the next round. Of course, they will be able to afford AKs, decent utility as well. The fact that they are the T side. If they get the bomb planted, this round would be absolutely marvelous. Somehow, Glowing goes for a full whiff spray, but luckily there's Polt and ProPlay chiming in to get the kills in return. An easy finish of the round secured. One win on double digits, 10-7, but Anonymo will be picking up those AKs, so weaponry-wise, they should have the advantage on the terrorist side.
Yeah, you know, AKs in hand, especially when you've got players like, I mean, Innocent, you know, he can pop off Snacks, of course, the man, the myth, the legend. But still, double digits have been picked up by one win. They've got a 3-round sort of buffer in their favour, and they're looking to keep hold of that. They will have the buy to support it as well. I mean, it's just prop play of an MP9, which is the only sort of significantly worse buy, I'd say. That's smoke coming in towards that tunnel's position. Kyler sitting passively, waiting. But Glowing going to rotate into support.
Well, mid left open for the time being. Travis is rotating through to defend it, but Anonymo, kind of the same idea that they had on Nuke, where they just most of the time play passive, wait for one win to make mistakes, get aggressive. They do have a little bit of aggression, of course, out towards A long. It's ProPlay on the other side of the long doors, waiting for someone to peek in through, which granted can get you a nice kill, but it is also a potential for getting completely sprayed down with wallbang potential on the terrorist side if they know that you are positioned in that angle. To be fair, not a lot of people do run that position because of course, the fear and the possibility that your opponent might just be able to easily deal with you regardless. Anonymo crawling further forward towards A short, and it looks like a potential for a mid to B split right now, because they do have still one player, Kyler, towards B. They are tossing their utility through mid. There's going to be the mid to B split, something that one win barely went for so far. And this boost from Deco could be perfect. They spot over the smoke. He finds one, fades away as well. And Travis creeping past the smoke. He drops Snacks. That's the bomb dropped in mid. And they're getting dealt with. Travis long range taps as well. Finds 3 kills. No one holding the smoke against Tyler. That's last but not least. He's going to get finished off, and that's one win. I mean, that was a solid mid defense. To boost quickly to get the opening pick, and then Travis creeping past the smoke. The last kill as well, just tapping away at K. And just
solid.
So gut-wrenching.
Slightly rookie-esque though, you know, of course it's the standard boost coming in towards that spawn, you know, it can of course see above that smoke, hence why, you know, sometimes people go for that double smoke with a slightly elevated one to stop things like that happening. And Anonymo, they just caught out into that window position as well, no trade coming forward as the player pushed out a sleep D. They pay the price. Kyler takes a lot of damage, but the smoke will extinguish it. It's been able to find the opener, however, but down goes Kyler. The trade coming forward, and a 4 versus 4 ensues.
On range, needle in hand, tap fight. Travis tagged down low. Travis taken down by Snacks with the P250. But at the moment on the B-bomb side, it's all on to Glowing. However, Glowing doesn't need no support. He's got himself the AK in hand up against Innocent. Once that smoke dissipates, a 1v1 fight comes through. But this is all a dangerous game. Can he find that quick tag to the face? Ooh. Yes, Innocent gets the kill. That's an AK recovered as well. Bomb site control can go for the plant. Though he's being pushed on the flank before he knows it. No safe plans coming forward. It is going to be ProPlay securing the round in their favor. And one win, 5 rounds ahead, 4 rounds from securing this series 2-0. But, this is disastrous for Anonymo. Snacks will at least be able to afford an AWP, so that is going to make me personally happy to see that battle between the Oppers again.
We love seeing Snacks, though. I mean, the man, the myth. And of course, I mean, on the other side, Deco's been doing a fantastic job on Nuke. He was a sight to be, you know, held. I mean, time and time again, going aggressive when it was needed most and really isolating fights with the AWP. A stellar job, you know, was playing over towards ramp, then with the harsh rotation over towards secret, cutting off those, you know, rotations and those executes towards our secret and outside position. Now heading into Dust 2, it's more of the same. Currently sitting 16 and 7. I mean, he's been looking brilliant individually as well, leading the way in terms of frags. in the server alongside Minio. I mean, he's been doing a fantastic job, and so far, been one of the players to keep an eye on.
All this time around, quick outside play from K. Does have Snacks crawling in behind him as well, and they might go for a quick A bomb side hit with the A long and A short push coming through. Deco, two-man hold towards short, gets mollied off though, forces him back. That means at the moment Pro Play is the only one there, but that nade gives away that he is at least positioned fairly close. The flash comes in, gets dodged, and Kyler stays back. They do have pretty decent CT A short control, but that means A long right now is not being controlled whatsoever. Kyler found out by Pro Play, and that's the man advantage for the CT side. Again, time and time again, they do find that opening pick on the one-win side. And you're still close to try and take that fight, but Travis pushing through mid, finding the information. Minio does spot Purpley getting aggressive. They know Glowing is stuck towards elevator as well. They don't have cross smokes available. They've got one. They use the molly to obstruct some vision, and it does get them across. Dangerous situation to be in, but there's Travis on site, and Travis is a monster, a tank, and he finds 2 kills. It's all on to Snacks, the clutch master, but he cannot get this clutch on the way. 13-7, and they're only 3 rounds away from securing the next spot. Well, the next step in the playoffs and knocking out Anonymo in a decisive 2-0 fashion.
Oh, for sure. I mean, one win coming into this, we spoke, quite heavily about individually. They've been brilliant. I mean, their run of form recently has been humongous. It's been taking real big strides, and of course, see there, they've converted a first goal into a round 11 out of 12 times. It's such an important factor. Peeking towards top mid. Oh, it's aggressive. Nearly finds a tank there for Anonymo coming into round number 21. It's just an AK to support those pistols. That hero buyer is Glowing to find the open. Already one win. That they convert an opening kill into a round 11 out of 12 times, and is following suit here.
Creeping up towards the bomb site. Glowing gets slightly tagged up, but Bolt still finds the kill nonetheless. Innocent at the edge of the smoke will get taken care of by Glowing, who is rotating through, already has 2 kills to his name. Can he find more? It's the remaining 2 terrorists pushing towards the site. The cross is there. Information relayed to Glowing. Close range. No scope. Tries to take the fight against Snacks, but of course Minio is still alive and kicking. Now it's going to be against Snacks in a 1v3 clutch scenario. How many has he had to attempt in this series so far? So he's even being flanked from tunnels. And one when they are just on fire right now. And I mean, honestly, with the performance right now, well deserved if they go on towards the next stage of the. In general, this tournament they've been looking so good.
Exactly. I mean, their run of form recently has been huge. We spoke about this already, but especially in this tournament, right? I mean, they've been looking very, very good. They in the regions had a bit of a mixed affair coming forward, a few decent victories. But when it came to that Swiss, they picked up a 3-1 overall. They only lost to Copenhagen Flames, who, as he said, that new roster is looking incredible from Copenhagen Flames. So in that sense, I mean, they've been looking fantastic. Pushing in towards short, however, the CT side nearly catching out an aggressive T, going for the peek in towards top short, won't for the time being. Innocent now waiting and holding, and maybe able to get himself a frag, jumping in towards Pit, Glowing. He's going to punish all day long, and nearly doubles up.
Well, does need a little bit of support now. The Molly can force him out of position, but spots K trying to toss in the Molly. And he gets the kill secured on his elbow. Blows it to smithereens with that nice 50 cal bullet. It's going to be long range. Glowing trying to cross back, but there's a player in pit that's dangerous. Molly forced him out of position. Blinded. Gets back. Okay. No HP on Glowing, and he still manages to disengage. That's really something that should never be allowed to happen.
Exactly. I mean, how has he been able to stay alive there? I mean, of course the flashbang came through, but for him to fall back on such low HP, now this becomes all concerning. Tags coming through as well, and Minio and Kyle are now in a real tough spot. Glowing waiting an opportunity. He's going to be gifted another frag. That's 3 on the board for him. He's technically on for the AC, and the way he's been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if he pushes on towards him. He's been hitting everything, but it's Minio to finally trade him out of that position. Deco finds one prop player on the last. Ladies and gentlemen, and DK Truman. That's one win, putting 15 on the board, and they're 1 away from taking this series 2-0. And it has to be said, deservedly taking it 2-0. They have been unstoppable so far.
I mean, honestly, Glowing is absolutely a golden sub. Every single time I see him sub for the 1-win side, he is doing absolutely exceptional work. That's what you want to see from your substitute, not, you know, no disrespect, but getting your coach in there most of the times. People that barely even play the game anymore. Not too favorable. As you can see, the odds on Pinnacle are also not too favorable here, because it seems like it's all done and dusted. Barely anything to win if you go for a full all-in bet onto 1-win, and you never are 100% sure that that might be the case. But to be fair, this series is over, and it's of course painful to see the Polish team get knocked out, because I'm a big Anonymo fan. But 1-win, they're looking like a completely different beast this morning.
Completely, as you mentioned. I mean, they are just on fire at the moment. Oh, Deco, he's gone aggressive into his tunnels, waiting, finding. He drops into an opening kill, going the way of 1-win. He may be able to double up here. Flashbang walk on forward. He manages to get his way out of the way, and he will be traded by Minio. HG coming forward. This could cause a lot of damage, and it will. Kyler's left on 15 points of health. But it's Minio to find the shot towards Proper. And the man advantage now gained for Anonymo. This could be potential for a lifeline here.
Glowing. That other op, creeping up, crawling closer. It's going to be the fight from Polt against Minio, but he misses the shots. Actually, it's Kyler getting the kill. In the meantime, there's a creep up from behind that might be a bit of a surprise coming through. Nonetheless, the bomb is headed out towards A-Long, and they're just using this B bomb site take as a pretty big bait. The flank comes in, the kill picked up by Glowing. Effie finds Minio here nice and cleanly. It could be a 2-on-2, but on the other side, the bomb is going to get planted. And it is actually a 2-on-2, so all of a sudden, this is very doable for the side of 1-win to secure their victory in a 16-7 fashion. Glowing with the AWP towards short. Does he expect K that close? Seems he knows something's up, because K is playing close angles. They line up. Glowing. 2 HP left. The Molly is going to make it so that it's near impossible to run forward unless he actually just suicides.
You hate to see it. You do hate to see it. Sprinting through him on the top. It's hard. Yeah, you do hate to see it, but at the same time, a lifeline has been gained. That's the first round that Anonymo picked up on this T side. It only took 7 for them to finally, in the 8th, put a round on the board, and that will mean that they have got 8 rounds overall, but still a stark deficit to catch up on. And 1-win, of course, they will be able to pick up a very comfortable fight going into this. Deco spotting, but not going to find anything. An uncharacteristic miss from the man.
Well, they are playing with that double op every single time. Deco and Glowing on the big green sticks. Anonymo grouping back through towards mid. Deco trying to spot out those long-range engagements. Of course, Anonymo don't have AWPs of their own, so that's the advantage that they've got right now. On the CT side, if you're going to take those fights, you can go for the mid peaks. But Anonymo, they need to win 7 consecutive rounds right now, Neo, to try and get themselves towards OT. And then give themselves a chance to take it to the 3rd map. So there's like a long road to recovery to go through.
A long road indeed. I mean, surely this is asking a little bit too much. I mean, so far, I know they struggled to put just that 1 round on the board, and Deco finds 1. He's get me traded. He doubles off onto K. Oh, it's falling apart, and Deco is a 1-man army. The man, the myth. This is Deco's world, and we're just living in it. I've sung his